Yo, what's going on? I appreciate everybody for tuning in. In today's video, we're going to talk a little bit about something that definitely impacts me. It's probably going to impact a lot of people out there. And we're talking about student loans. If you haven't looked in the month of September, trust me, I have. My student loan, the amount actually went up because in September this month, interest started to accrue. And payments are going to resume on October 1st. So if you're new to the channel, I'm Marcus, the Debt Free Dad, where we're talking finances, financial takes, and I'm giving my attorney reactions to current events. Hey, disclaimer, licensed attorney, but this isn't legal or financial advice. This is for infotainment purposes. Find a professional in your area, yada, yada, yada. That'll keep the folks at the Bar Association happy so people can't say, hey, your boy DFD is giving out advice. Now, y'all know I've been on a debt-free journey since 2020. We paid off cars, we paid off a rental property, credit cards, department store cars, you name it, we had it to pay off. In 2021, we focused on the student loans. We got our student loan from 2021 to current. We got it down from about $109,000 to about $32,000 and some change. Now, we slowed down the progress of paying off that student loan because, hey, as you are aware, if you aren't, check out the video above. But your boy DFD, hey, I lost my job. I'm going through a little career switch right now. So we decided to let's not attack the student loan so hard. Let's stack up the extra bread until the job front thing plays itself out. I'm gonna probably give an update, but if you want to see where I am with regard to the job situation, check out the video that I'm gonna drop above or in the link below or the description box or somewhere, wherever the hell the link is going to appear. Now, student loans is interesting because I actually put a poll out, and yo, the intellectual savages out there, our community, they really don't have a lot of faith in people to do the right thing with their finances, right? The poll question was during the time of student loan forbearance, where you didn't have to make any payments, no interest were accruing, do you think that people like A, save their money? Do you think that people B, continue to pay on their student loans? Do you think that people C, they just took the money they were paying on student loans and went out and bought something else? And most people selected that option. It goes to show that the community didn't have a lot of faith. Now that we're full circle and people have to make student loan payments again, there's an interesting movement going on out there. And as soon as I saw this, my initial reaction was the audacity. Like, this is kind of ridiculous. It's pretty stupid. Let's go ahead, check out this video so we can talk about it and rap about it. Let's dive in.
A ticking clock for student loan borrowers. Payments are set to resume in October, but as Brian Sean reports, some say they can't afford to pay, and others say they won't.
Josie Bridges is a single mom living paycheck to paycheck. It's hard enough dealing with rising prices at the store.
My student payments are sitting right now at about $400 is what they're expecting each month. So, I mean, that's my food budget right there.
The pandemic freeze on student loan payments allowed Josie to open up her own salon in Portland, Oregon. But with $4,000 in outstanding debt for her community college degree, she says she simply won't be able to make the monthly payments once they resume in October.
Now I realize that it's kind of out of my hands at this point. If I can't make it, I can't make it.
Okay, like, all right, but before we even finish watching this video, let's talk about that real quick and dive in to what this sister is saying, because sometimes we put ourselves in these situations. They said that she had $4,000 in student loan debt. She was paying $400 a month. Once you didn't have to make that $400 a month payment, it allowed her to be able to open a salon. Now she won't be able to make that payment. And I get it. It makes sense. If you had $400 to pay on your student loans in 2019, your financial situation stayed the same. And now in 2023, you have to pay that $400 again. You're actually going to be at a deficit because the cost of everything went up. The cost of groceries, rent, insurance, you name it, it went up. This sister actually started a business. But let's ask ourselves, y'all let me know in the comments, Whose fault is that? Like, whose fault is that you went out and started a business? The purpose of starting a business is to try and create revenue. So now that you started a business, you didn't have to pay that $400 a month for over 3 years, and you were able to start a business. Now that you got that business, you're like, you know what? I got all these other expenses. I can't pay the student loans. That's your fault. That's just planning that you have to make. And I get it. Y'all talking to somebody who had $109,000 in student loan. My wife got like a ball 30 that we are on the process of zeroing out. So I get it. Student loans suck. But the decisions you make, the decisions she made, put herself in the financial situation that she's in, to where she can't pay those student loans. And we don't know the details of her business, but she probably, like a lot of people, when they start a business, they actually started using a lot of credit. So she probably has some business expenses, some business debts as well, that's just putting her in a position where she can't make the payments. But at the end of the day, like, yo, you knew what it was. You knew these payments were going to come around. You started a business to get your money up. Hey, you got to make your payment. That's kind of my point. Let's jump right back into this video.
The Biden administration's plan to forgive up to $20,000 in student debt would have wiped Josie's slate clean. Instead, a challenge from 6 Republican states resulted in a Supreme Court decision in June striking down the plan.
We already knew how that was going to turn out.
I'm disappointed and I'm confused. It's too inconsistent.
Yeah, I think it's a bunch of stuff unconstitutional with that too.
The administration was able to cancel all of that. What would that have done?
Giving me financial freedom.
The median student borrower has between $20,000 to $25,000 in outstanding debt, and for those over 40 million borrowers, they're going to be facing interest accrual beginning in September, with the first payments in over 3 years due in October.
It is officially time for a student loan repayment.
Some taking to social media, calling on borrowers not to pay.
Does the U.S. government just think we're going to go back to paying student loan payments like what? It's going to be a credit score.
Education Secretary Miguel Cardona says it's a risk people shouldn't take.
The loans are still there, and the repayment is still needed.
Failing to pay.
I agree with Cardona on that one.
Those in default face wage garnishing and big credit score hits. But for now, the government says borrowers won't face penalties if they miss payments.
We know many of our borrowers are going to struggle to make payments, but we want to ensure that we're not sending their name to credit agencies. So we're going to hold them harmless for a year as they're getting back up.
Among longer-term options for relief, see if your employer offers repayment assistance programs and consider the SAVE program, which adjusts monthly bills based on borrowers' income. Josie's weighing her options and says it's going to be tough either way.
At this moment, it's either come up with money to pay.
Hey, you got to do some more work in your salon. You're a business owner. You signed up for the loan.
This fall. Brian Chung, NBC News, Portland, Oregon.
All right, so now that we know and heard that situation, let's go ahead and rap about it and talk about it a little bit. Like I said, hey, like, I'm a person who I believe that you should be held accountable for the decisions you made. When I was 18, 17, however old I was many moons ago, and I started going to law school, I remember specifically when I sat down and they explained the loans to me, they explained everything in details. They actually gave me a pamphlet that put it in real easy writing to say that you are obligated to pay this. This is when your amount will start. At every step of the way, undergrad, law school, anytime I had to sign a student loan, they gave me details. I assumed that risk, so you got to ante up and pay it. But let's talk about these people trying to boycott it. Like, society as a whole, you know, like back in the day, people really knew how to boycott things and make an impact. Now, our boycott skills are real sus, okay? Like, boycott paying student loans. And I already know what people are going to do. The Department of Education isn't going to put your inability or your refusing to pay your loan on your credit. So people probably thinking, you know what? I can buy that house. I don't got to worry about my credit score taking a hit. That is something that is definitely stupid. I definitely agree with the Secretary of Education. That's dumb. It's not going to benefit you. At the end of the day, you signed the obligation. You can't wait for some guy in the White House to try and bail you out. Like, let's just be honest. The government manages their finances terribly. They need to talk to Dave Ramsey. How can you rely on an entity who manages its finances poorly to do something to impact your finances? I said it before. That 3-year plus no payment interest freeze is probably going to be the only opportunity that we'll see in our lifetime where the government actually did something that if you took advantage of it, you could put yourself in a better financial position. So if you took advantage of it, salute. If you had the means to do it, but instead you bought a Tesla, hey, you got to deal with that. If you didn't have the means to take advantage of it, you still have to come up with a way to pay your obligation. It's just stupid, I think. Y'all let me know what y'all think of the student loan boycott. And I don't know, let's think about it. 50% of the people who go to college and get student loans don't actually graduate. You assume the risk. You signed up for it. I can't boycott paying my student loans. You know why? You know what'll happen if I boycott? If I boycott, like there's a definite punishment or sanction if DFD said, "Yeah, I'm down for the cause. I'm not boycotting. I don't need to buy anything. I'm a boycott. I don't need to buy anything. I'm not paying them dues." You know what happened to me? Because I have a professional license, they can suspend my professional license because I do not pay my student loans. So if there are consequences for me not paying the student loans, there's going to be consequences for everybody. They may be wage garnishments, which is a terrible thing. You don't want your wages garnished. Trust me. You get your check and before it go to your account, they took your money or they snatched your tax refund. That's goofy as hell. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. The bottom line is, you signed up for it. Be an adult. You was adult. Unless you signed up for it and you was a minor and the contract is probably legally invalid. If you signed up for it, shut up and pay your student loans. If you don't got the money to do it, put mechanisms in place. Call them, reach out. Don't just not do anything. A lot of times they'll actually work with you, but we can't rely on the White House to do something that's going to improve the finances in your house. If you like this video, check out the video on the screen. There's going to be more content related to finances and attorney reactions.